On August 6th, 1945, 3 American B-29s took off from this runway in the Pacific and dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima in Japan. After 45 years, some of those who flew on that raid decided the time had come at last to go back.
And I'm originally from Michigan, so I always root for Michigan, but I know that football fever in Columbus really runs high.
You see downtown Columbus off in the distance there.
They met in a downtown hotel the night before setting off to retrace their wartime steps from the shores of the United States to the islands of Japan. A small group of veterans who back in their youth had made deadly history because they were the first to wage war with an atomic weapon.
Gentlemen, please sit informally.
By the time they returned home at the end of World War II, there were already widespread doubts about what they'd been ordered to do. Soon much of world opinion turned hostile, and the atomic destruction of Hiroshima was judged by some to be an act of unparalleled barbarity.
Gentlemen, I propose that before we sit down, that we say grace and remember those from our group that we've lost. In the name of the Father, Son, and Ghost, amen. Bless us, O Lord, and these thy gifts, which we are about to receive from thy bounty through Christ our Lord, amen. And please remember all of those from the armed forces who were lost in the service of the country, and particularly those members of the 509th Group who are friends and our crewmates who have since met their eternal reward and have gone to paradise. In the name of the Father, Son, and Ghost, amen.
God-fearing men that they are, the veterans have no time for critics of their wartime action. They reject those who say that what they did was wrong, that the atomic bomb should never have been used.
That's Dick's. You'll start going, great job there, Dick.
Well,
They say that 160,000 deaths by blast, fire, irradiation, the total destruction of Hiroshima were justified because they led to the end of the war and victory for the Allies.
And the boxcar, as we know.
To this day, each one of them believes that.
There were other people.
Dick Nelson, the radio man on the Enola Gay, the plane that dropped the bomb.
As well as all the physicists and the people that were involved in the A-bomb itself.
Yeah.
Don Albury, co-pilot of Great Artiste, which carried scientific equipment to measure the blast. George Marquardt, who piloted the third aircraft, cameras and observers on board.
What, did you land in Okinawa?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fred Bach flew on the Nagasaki mission, the second atomic raid, a few days later. And General Charles Sweeney, a pilot on both missions, flew the Great Artiste to Hiroshima.
Dump with that.
I wouldn't dump it.
Yeah, the fleet's still there.
I would not dump it. I'd bail the crew out and I'd take it in myself. Now that sounds melodramatic.
Yeah, but even that.
I don't care. We would have gotten the bomb on a target, on the target.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Not dump in the ocean.
Never even occurred to us.
Here, Chuck. Thanks for the wonderful dinner.
Thank you.
That was a good deal.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's go and be comfortable.
Let's do it.
Now that we're leaving for Japan, to a real memory trip, it seems to me. How do you all feel?
One, it's going to be a long flight. And doesn't that bring back memories? Because we flew a long time getting that propeller-driven airplane all the way to those islands. We stopped a couple more times,
right.
But it was a drag, if you want, and we're going to go on a drag tomorrow, too. But
Well,
I would second that. It would be interesting. It would be very interesting to see Japan, especially after all these 45 years. It really will be.
almost scared to go there, you know. It's just, it's been thrown at us so often, whether we did or did not do right. And being in Japan is going to be the crux of the whole trip. It's going to be how we accept it. And I'm frightened. I'm a little bit frightened of going to Japan.
Okay. Where's 17G? Come back over this way, huh?
Can I put mine up there?
You betcha.
Thank you.
I'd like you to.
You're sitting right here, George. Let me get this coat off.
All right, that's good. Let's get on here. Let's get going. Get out of here.
Time to go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your flight purser, Neresina speaking. Crew type to Titan. When outside the aircraft, jerk the two inflation cords found at the low end in order to inflate the vest. To regulate air pressure, use either mouth tubes, blow to increase air. We shall be taking off, so please tighten up the back of your seats and fasten your seatbelts.
"45 years ago, they traveled this route in specially equipped B-29 bombers from the west coast of the United States to Tinian, a speck of an island in the Pacific. There were hundreds of bombers already on Tinian. The arrival of a few more from the 509th Composite Group was hardly noticed. They were now only 7 hours flying from the target in Japan. In the closing stages of World War II, Tinian was the base from which thousands of U.S. bombers took off to pound Japan with high explosives and fire bombs. Until the war, few had heard of the place destined to be the takeoff point for the most devastating of weapons. Only a handful of men knew the secret, and as they prepared for their mission, the other bomber crews on Tinian got on with the business of conventional war.
To veteran crews, it's just another day's work. One more 1,500-mile haul up and down the ruddy Pacific. 15 hours, 7,000 gallons, 4 engines, 11 guys. Knock wood.
The atom bomb arrived from the United States in sections. When the day came, it was delivered fully assembled to a concrete pit near the end of the runway. It was too large to be loaded in the normal way, so the Enola Gay, the B-29 that was to carry it with Colonel Paul Tibbets at the controls, was pushed over the pit so that a hydraulic platform could lift the bomb directly into the belly of the aircraft. It weighed 10,000 pounds. This was a delicate maneuver.
This is Major Charles W. Sweeney of Quincy, Massachusetts, pilot of the Great Artiste. We were briefed on, of course, a primary and a secondary target as usual.
We decided to go without gun turrets. All the other airplanes in the force had gun turrets, and when we took the gun turrets out, my memory seems to say it lightened the airplane by 7,000 pounds, and then you didn't have to carry any ammunition to fight against Japanese fighters, for example, because we determined a method to avoid them with power and speed and altitude.
As technicians in the pit area worked to load the atom bomb securely, the air crews were getting pre-flight briefings and making their own personal preparations on the night before the raid.
it on.
Think so? Why they're going to do that? That's the only problem.
These guys are going to get through.
Yeah. So what? What are you going to do?
And you need when you.
This is quite something to see. George Marquardt. What do you go miles per hour? Ground speed?
Ground speed is 505 now. 505.
We had a B-29. We were only making it probably at max a couple hundred, maybe 190. That's 45 years ago, though.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Thank you. Yes, okay, afterwards. Thank you very much.
Very pleasant trip. We enjoyed it very much. Bye-bye. Sayonara.
they said nothing will grow, but oleander flowers were the very strong, tough flowers that were in bloom, they say. And now the city is born into a new peace city.
It's a very beautiful city, George.
You're talking about the 5 rivers. I remember this being all the water bodies and all the rivers flowing down into that.
Yes.
Looking out the windows and coming in, you could really identify because we studied that for weeks.
Oh, is that so?
Yes.
You know, and maps and the charts and then radar.
That's a delta. I would like to know where you would like to visit. I would like to mention some places, and if you have interest, please let me know. Then I would like to take you to those places. We have the Peace Memorial Hall, where they have all the memorial things of the past. Then we have the eternal fire burning for peace in the future, and everybody is to create a new life in this world of Peace City. Would you like to see all these places connected with the atomic bomb?
Sure.
Yes. Then we will put that on the schedule. Sure. Would that be all right?
This is the principal hospital in Japan for the monitoring and treatment of the radiation victims who still survive from 1945. It's run by the Red Cross. Today there are 360,000 people on their books.
Is it the International Red Cross or just the Red Cross of Japan?
It's international.
That's good. Okay, very good. Okay.
2ヶ月後というのは平均したらそうな20年の方もあるし。
We have patients that come here for checkup. Then some stay 1 month, according to the situation of the illness, after effects. And some stay for a long period of 10 years. Watch your steps and say.
They are used to visitors here. They come from all over the world to question doctors and see patients.
Yes, oh, that's right. Anyway, here we convenient for... No, I'm not good. My English is not so good. Yes.
This is Mr. Sweeney.
Hi.
Hi. What is your name?
My name is Chieko Matsura Flavor. Hi. How do you do?
Name.
Thank you.
And
Aubrey.
Aubrey-san.
Aubrey-san. How do you do? Glad to meet you.
And Margaret-san.
Margaret-san. Hi, Mr. Margaret. How do you do? Hi. Glad to know you. Glad to meet you.
Glad to meet you.
Boku-san.
Boku-san. Hi.
She never knew who these veterans really were. They never said.
Have you lived in Hiroshima all your life? Have you lived in...
Yes, almost most life.
Yeah.
Yes, I had 1945,
Yeah.
That awful, time, atomic bomb exploded. My home just only 1,000 meters from center. Yes.
At the time, was there anybody else killed in your family?
Yes, my last uncle and all of last generation live here in Hiroshima. They are everybody.
Were you out on
Just myself and my mother survived. That's all. After atomic bomb exploded, my hair began losing. Every time I comb, hands full hair started losing.
Yeah.
And my skin got what called that blue spot, just what blue silver side, spot all over. And also came home what called shinori, blood cloud. Blood come out my gum. Yes.
It's surprising you look as well as you do.
Well, thank you. I'm try hard.
Thank God that you
yes.
better, yes.
Yes,
Did you
God.
marry?
Yes.
And do you have children?
Yes, I have 7.
Seven.
Well, how old were you at the time at 45?
21.
21?
Yes, I was.
21.
You carry your age very well then.
Well, thank you very much. I'm trying. Yes, I'm trying.
She was 21 one day.
Oh, 21. 21
Now
45.
I am 65.
65, yes,
Yes,
sure.
65.
Sure. So, were all of your deliveries of your children normal?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Good, very
yes,
good.
Very good. I'm also have 12 grandchildren. 2 great children. Yes. I'm great grandmother.
Doesn't look like it at all.
Did you find it very difficult to forgive this bombing?
Yes, I forgive because I didn't order that war. I didn't order American to drop bomb. So what shall I do? Nobody else fault. Just time,
Just put our trust in the great Lord.
Yes, that's how I'm. Yeah, I am.
I guess.
Find it difficult to forgive.
Yes, that's difficult to forgive, but sometimes I can't forget. I cannot forget that memory, everything, but I can forgive.
Yes.
Yes, that's very hard to do.
Dorothy,
Probably a telephone transmission or
is
something.
that anything significant? Is that sculpture over there anything significant?
Chimes or
Right
something.
there.
I bet you it's electronic chimes.
I think
I cannot see it.
Okay. I think it's just a clock.
Shall we walk?
Shall we walk over the bridge?
Yes, why not? Is your cane off?
I'll bend to the street.
That, in Japanese, this is Ioi Bridge.
Dorothy,
Yes, sir.
the Enola Gay, piloted by General Tibbets.
Yes.
And as you know, at that point, I was flying in formation with him. And Makwat-san was flying also in formation with us. He had the cameras, and I was dropping the parachute instruments. And the aiming point for General Tibbets was the IEOE Bridge.
IEOE Bridge.
IEOE Bridge. Here.
IEOE Bridge.
This one.
very clean, isn't it? Japanese people are just very industrious. This is about the aiming point right here, then.
This is it, right here.
Caught the teeth.
There we missed it. Not very far.
Well, that wasn't too bad at 32,000 feet.
Not bad at that height, you bet.
Now, if that was a 100-pounder, it might have been a different story.
Yeah.
I'm certainly glad that the sun has decided to shine. It feels much better.
Known people's names are stored in here. And the unknown one is where the green little thing was.
Yes.
And they ask for water. So
Yes.
that's why they have water. Because
What's the symbolism of the coin?
it's like a donation. Like in we come back again. Oh, they have a lot of coins.
A lot of coins.
It's like a donation.
Like the Trevi Fountain in Italy.
These days, much of the life in Hiroshima revolves around an area called the Peace Park.
若い時来た時と今とあんまりの発展で、それで
What are these ladies doing here?
これは竹っていうのは日本のもう古来のなんですよね。This is all made from bamboo. Japan did not have brooms in olden days, but had bamboo. You see.
Sure.
And
What are the ladies? What are the ladies doing?
they are from the city, so they clean every day.
Every
They
day.
want the river to be clean. もうどこもきれいにしたいんですよね。広島の心っていうもの。Just like the feeling of their heart, they want to clean everything. See, from their heart. だから皆さんのね、みんながね、心からね、皆さんに敬服してるんですよ。I said, you know, if everybody's heart was like their heart, like the clean, after it would be a pleasure. We will have friendship throughout the world. When they were running to get away, no time to look up in the air, but because other people who had fell, the hands were here, the feet were there, we had no time to look up. Just for our lives, we had to run, you see. All the Ota River, their bodies were so hot, they all
Jumped into the river.
jumped in the water to get the hotness. Burn, you know, when you burn something. これだけ私やけとしても痛いんだもんね。コーヒーで。I was just saying, just by the burn of coffee it goes like this, you know. It's just recovering, but they say if your whole body is, you know, burning, it will ache. So they want to go in the water. だから体が全部じゃがいもの皮がむいてある。Like a potato peeling. So they all went in.
暑いからね。電車なんか乗っとってね。
She was on the 電車 tram.
She was on the tram.
And then everything fell and the light went off, so she thought she got blind. 目が暗もう真っ
暗になってたね。
It was so dark.
目が見えんのかも。目が見えんなったかも。
それで that was a little bit that way, out in that direction. We didn't think about anything about who dropped it and what. We had no time for other people. We had only time for ourselves. Surviving. こちらさんお聞きしたいのはね、大きな傷ですよね。だけどこの体にね、その結果が、こうやって元気にしてらっしゃるからそう見えませんけど、
元気にとってもやっぱり内臓がね、あちこちどっか悪いですよ。
See, the interior of our stomach, yeah, I think it's from the not the clean air. Afterwards, here and there, I think it's. We are not a critical patient at all, but we must have some kind of effect, you know, which is minor. もしそういう人たちにね、飛行機にこう乗ってた人たちにお会いになったら。どういうことを言いたいと思いますかって難しい問題ですよね。
難しいね。
簡単にねストレートに言いたい、世界に向かって言いたいとすると、そういう人に会ったとしたらどう思われますかって聞いてですね。
まあね、あんまり日が経ったからね、ちょっとね、初め頃はもうね、こう。
You know, when it was right after the occasion.
原爆が落ちた時75年草木の肺炎がこういうになったけんね。
She said that everybody was saying if the atom bomb was dropped 75 years, nothing will grow. But that's a big lie, it grew. And then one more thing, she said, as the days go by and we are living in such a nice environment now, it's not, you know, we don't have that mad feeling like what we had.
Tell them they have a beautiful city.
私だったら落とした人がね、どういう今気持ちかね思うんですよ。
What we would like to ask is what the people that had dropped it, we would like to hear their opinion. See?
Do they have a family?
で、
死んじゃったんでしょ?
And then she's saying all the people that dropped it are dead. So that's what she thinks. But you see, after 4 years or 5 years, everything grew. So we don't think about the past now. もしあったとしたら皆さん方はどういう気持ちで、その人に会いますか？
やっぱりその人にも会いますよね。
落としたとしたらじゃけ悪いことした
思うですよやっぱり。
Well, if we should meet these people, they don't really know what happened to the people, you see, but they will still feel mad maybe towards them.
4人ってましたがね、私はまだあの時まだ20歳21だからね。
In the first millisecond after 16 minutes past 8 on the morning of August 6th, a pinprick of purplish-red light expanded to a glowing fireball hundreds of feet wide over the city. The temperature at its core, 50 million degrees. The heat started fires a mile away, burnt skin 2 miles away. 80,000 people, a quarter of everyone in Hiroshima that morning, died instantly or were mortally wounded. Most of them were in the 4 miles around this spot, the Atom Bomb Museum, where the memory of atomic hell on Earth is recorded.
This is my experience. I have a big burn. About 1/3 of my whole body is burned. Both hands, both feet, and my back. And all my meat was just red. And by the wind, there were some of the glass and things that were stuck to my body. I was about 10 meters flown back where I was. With my friends from the class, we ran to the riverside. We have had always training to run away. So we went near the river. But when I came to the riverside, I found out my situation of my body. And I found out how terrible it was. I saw all the fires burning in every house around. If I did not run around in a hurry, I would be surrounded by fire. I have seen the black rain also. At that time, I accidentally met my relative, and the relative took me home. And till today, I'm very lucky to be living. But there were more worse people than myself. And the mother and the child all burned. And the baby was crying. And I have seen many dead people. And also the people in a very bad situation.
This is very well done. Tremendous what they've done. Of course, they've had to pick the good with the bad and the actual and the truthfulness. And it's very well done.
I don't think that's the roof tile they're referring to.
This is the roof tile here.
Oh, I see. Oh, so. Oh, do not touch, Jesus. I thought it was there for touching.
1,800 feet. I thought it was less than that.
Oh, yeah, right. You said 8. Here's the thing we dropped a parachute. One of the things that we dropped by parachute. That's the real McCoy.
That's where everybody thought the bomb was dropped by parachute at one time.
Right. Yeah, that was in the parachute.
But this was, they
the real
recovered
thing.
it here. They recovered it here.
Yeah, it was recovered by the Japanese Navy. He was sending him back to radio.
So we got all of that in that
was in the back of the airplane.
The little black
And
box.
he and two others, I think Jepson was one and somebody else.
Well, didn't one of the little black box in front?
No. All the telemeter was in the back of the airplane.
Oh, okay.
What do you feel about how this is displayed? Do you think this is displayed in a way that is right?
Oh, sure. This actually came from.
That came from my airplane.
From the airplane.
Oh, I see.
It was dropped by parachute.
Well, that one didn't explode then?
It was not a bomb.
Oh, I see.
It was a radio.
Oh, radio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I see. Then.
The bomb did not have a trail of thick red column of flame. It had nothing.
Couldn't it be the sunrise effect?
I never saw anything.
No, but we
there was
wouldn't.
nothing. There was no wake. We dropped hundreds and hundreds of pumpkins and whatever.
Never
Just
had
concrete filled and never had a
No
wake.
vapor.
Never had a wake. However, it's nothing wrong with this. Somebody imagining that he saw it.
Sure.
It was a crazy morning.
Sure.
The bomb missed its target in the middle of the Aioi Bridge by 800 feet. It exploded directly over the roof of a hospital. There's another clinic there today run by the same medical family. Dr. Shima and his mother took their visitors to the roof, the spot the Americans call Ground Zero. The Japanese call it the hypo center, the middle of the fireball. To start with, the Shimas thought these veterans were just another group of American tourists.
その前日までね、my father がここで働いてた。
Till the day before, his father was working here in the
そうサージャンね、外科医として。
surgeon.
アブドミナルサージャリー。
Abdominal surgeon.
Internal.
Internal.
それでね、その前日にね、田舎の方にね、手術を頼まれてね、3つか4つのね。
He had 3 operations to do in the country. So that's why my father survived. He says he was very sorry. He survived because he was on a, operation work. But he was very sorry he didn't look after the rest of the people here. That's what Mrs. said. See, when everybody was on the bridge, India, they say, oh, this is Dr. Shima. And they all say, Dr. Shima, help me, save me. So he got to the river, which was not so clean also, but he got the water because I think the radiation need water, so they all asked for water. So he didn't have no cup, so he got a handkerchief and put the water in and gave to all the patients.
もうね、その朝、もう日が明るくなった時立ったら自分がこうシャツを着て往診してたもんですから白いのが目立ってね、元気そうで傷も何にもないから大丈夫大丈夫言うたのが。
He said he was wearing white shirt. But the others were all in dark clothes. He said, I felt very sorry after all these people are, lying down and I'm wearing a white one and surviving, he said. So he began to put all the ashes on his body to make himself look like one of the patients.
Where was Mrs. Sima?
Shima sensei, 奥様はどこにおいでるから? They were evacuated someplace. Their real home that they were raised, she was there with the children. そしたら先生もいらっしゃる。
僕はね、小学校5年生。
He was in the 5th year of elementary school.
で、学童疎開。
So all the students were at a different place evacuation. 先生たちに対して、you want to give your feelings, how you feel to them?
Did you tell him?
No, I said that you people were on the plane. Is that all right?
Yes.
それで広島に対して自分たちは深いね考えが他の人よりも皆ございますと言って、それで先生のご恩というものをね。
Nelson's son was radio operator.
この人はあの時の若かりしの時の。
Enola Gay.
On the Enola Gay.
Enola Gay のね。
That's why we were so interested in meeting both.
それで皆さんにお会いするのが本当にね。
マークレットさん。
マークレットさんは
Airplane number 3.
3番目の飛行機の
With the cameras.
キャメラマンだったんです。はい。まあ昔の飛行機だからね。It was not the modern B-29 type, is it?
Yes.
B-29 のタイプだったんですって。で、キャメラマン。
Aubrey-san
and
Sweeney-san.
このスイニーさん。
Same airplane.
同じ飛行機に乗ってたんだって。
Number 2 airplane.
2機目ですって。
With the parachutes.
それでパラシュートの。
Where the instruments.
それをね持ってる飛行機だったんだそうです。それですから自分の心というものがまた考えが違いますというね。
Did they read Gordon Thomas's book on?
本ね全部それを書いてあるんです。それで先生のね
I think we're keeping the doctor.
先生そう寒いってそれからお時間を割いていただいて。
Thank you very much. Welcome. See you again. See you again. See you again.
Thank you for your time, Doctor.
Thank you very much.
嬉しくてここでねお会いできるというのがね光栄でね。
中でお写真拝見したりしておりますね。そして
No, the doctor's very busy, so we better let him go. We can keep him here all day.
だから考え無料っていうね普通の人よりね自分たちがお気持ちというものをねどんなか教えていただきたいっていうのは言葉には出ないと思いますけどっていうね私たちのもう言葉がないっていう気持ちです。来たっていうことが大変な意義深いことですね先生と。
This is where all the
Those who perished in the atomic raid and its aftermath are commemorated by the memorial in the Peace Park.
And also some of the items, the relics of the past. So we must go to the front and just show our,
Few go to Hiroshima without making their way there. It's a quiet place. People stand before it and look. For the Japanese, it is more than just a monument to those who died. It is a symbol of a deep belief in their dignity and a statement of hope in a future that was born of their ashes.
Never again should it happen.
Is that what that says?
It says, please sleep in peace, the people. Never again should it happen. So when you look from here, straight on, you look through the eternal fire for peace, like holding the hands up. Then if you look further, it's what happened in the past.
As the anniversary of the atomic raid comes around again, the men of the 509th plan their own memorial at their old air base in Wendover, Utah.
And the people...
The inscription on it will say that the atom bomb finally put an end to all world wars and brought lasting peace. That's the way they've always preferred to see it. As far as they are concerned, that's what was really achieved. That sunny morning, they dropped the atom bomb on the people of Hiroshima.
Very simple and plain and unique.
Significant. Very significant in its meaning.
Oh, yeah, very. The dome in the background. Unbelievable.
You see the wind trees.
See them on the side there. This is a big park. Boy, they've got a lot of stuff in it. A lot of history here.
Thanks for watching. If you'd like to help us produce more compelling historical content like this, please like, comment below, and share this video with fellow history buffs. And of course, be sure to subscribe to help keep history happening.